Okay, yesterday we learned about how do we use various form elements, drop downs, list boxes, meter, progress, controls, how to work with them. Now, one more option we have buttons. Buttons in HTML. Generally, what is purpose of button is buttons are used buttons are used to confirm user actions. Technically, what is the purpose of button? So the purpose of button is to confirm user actions. Confirming user actions means, like, actually, it includes record actions. record actions Record actions means record actions like, we have insert, like update, like delete, like view, like edit. All these comes under record actions. We have like record navigations like previous, so like next, like first, like last. All these comes under the category of record navigation. Have various miscellaneous actions. Miscellaneous actions like print, like save, like open, like close, like register. So register and like login, all such things comes under miscellaneous. So to confirm any action, we need this button. But buttons are classified into buttons buttons are classified into two types. We have generic buttons and non-generic buttons. Generic and non-generic buttons. We have two types of buttons. Who is this? Piyush, every notes related to every day is present in one file. You are not new to this batch, huh? Who are you? Everything is present in one file called HTML tutorial. You go there and see. Huh? Uh, every day you will come up with this question: notes 18th not uploaded. Every day we don't upload notes. Only when I am giving any new topic, I will upload the notes. Understood? Everything up to the forms concept is in one document. Na? Everybody saw it, right? Right. So these are all there already. I am just giving overview to you. Already these are all in the notes in the same way defined in that HTML document. Any new example if I show, I will give that here. So technically, what is difference between generic button and non-generic button? Difference between generic and non-generic button is nothing but generic buttons have predefined functionality. Generic button have predefined functionality. It have predefined functionality. Predefined functionality means without writing any functionality, internally they have some work to do. You don't need to write any logic. They automatically do some work. Those are actually generic buttons. And actual how to design generic buttons, two versions are there. HTML4, we can design input type as submit. is one generic button. Input type as reset. This is another generic button. These two are generic buttons. Generic buttons have predefined functionality. In HTML4, we design like this: input type submit, input type reset. The point is, submit button, it can submit form, and reset button, it will reset form. It will reset form. You don't need to write any functionality. By default, they do it. For example, see now here, I am designing a form. In the I am creating a field set with a legend, user name, and text box input type is equal to text, and name is equal to username, and we will keep a button here. We will keep input type is equal to submit, and one more button, input type is equal to reset. And you can see that these two buttons are present here. The submit and reset buttons are present here, and we are not writing any logic. Nothing logic is written here. I type something and click reset. It can reset the form. Default, it is working. So that means we don't need to write any functionality. Internally, they have some work. Internally, they do the functionality and perform. So that is the reset button. This is old button type. These days we don't use this because the problem with HTML4 button is these HTML4 buttons RC data type. That means they will not allow symbols, icons, images, just only ordinary text. Suppose you can change value as register. You can change value as cancel. So you can see register, cancel, but the buttons are submit and reset. Remember, reset means, don't think reset means deleting everything. Reset means reset the form to its previous state. That means every form have a default state. It will reset to that state. For example, suppose text box is having a value John. Text box is having a value John. So here the John value I removed and typed something, and if I click cancel, it will reset to normal state again John. It doesn't mean that it cancel means deletes. It is not deleting, it is resetting the form to its normal state. That is what actually reset is. Reset. So we have reset button and we have submit, and you see submit button also. When I click the button, it submits the data in the URL, it submits. So by default, these buttons have some work, and we don't need to write any work. By default, they do some work. This is HTML4 buttons. I will copy this. I will copy only this form for your reference sake. So syntactically, it will be like this. Now in HTML5, they are given like this. We have button type as submit, button type as submit, and we can give button type as reset. What is advantage is this button is a container, just like a div, it is a container. Now in this container, you can put a text, you can put a picture, you can put any icons, anything. You can keep anything inside it. Previously, buttons used to display only text, but now we can have some symbols, icons, and define them. Important is actually this HTML5 buttons, when you write only button, this is equal to submit. That means if you don't write type submit, by default it is submit. So by default it will work as submit. So see, now I am changing the old version and put the new one button, and I say submit, and I will remove this value, and another button. So I said reset, but observe carefully here. I entered some name and click on reset. It also submits the form. It submits. It's not resetting. Why? Because by default every button is a submit button. If you want to change, then you put type as what? Submit. Another button type as what? Reset. You have to define reset. Now it will work. Suppose I'm entering some details and click reset, it will reset. I'm entering some details and I say submit, it will submit. What is advantage? You can put anything inside it. That means, for example, I have a link, relation, style sheet. Href is from node modules, bootstrap icons, icons.css. And here, so I am using the word register, and beside the word register I am using a span and class bi some person fill, like this. Now you can see, you can have icons like this. You can put icons, you can put symbols. Now very important, here you can put any image also. Directly you can put an image. I will put img src. You can have assets, some images, shoe, and I want width as 20, height as 20. Then you can see there is an image there. So you can keep images, you can keep text, they will function in a similar way. So two types of buttons are there, generic and non-generic. Generic means they have a predefined functionality, and you don't need to write any functionality, and they can be designed in HTML4 by using input type submit and reset. Now in HTML5 by using this technique. So syntactically I will give here. So this is in HTML5 how we can add it, how we can define. Another important is we have non-generic buttons. Non-generic buttons. So non-generic buttons are the buttons without any functionality. Are the buttons without any functionality. Non-generic buttons are the buttons without any functionality. They don't define any functionality. They don't configure any functionality. You have to write manually. And in HTML4, we design input type as button. Input type as button. In HTML5, we define button type as button. Like this we do. So they don't have any functionality. For example, I'm writing here, suppose input type is equal to button, and the value I given as, if I don't give value, by default button will be empty. I'm giving some value into it. So value is suppose print, and you can see it's not, and it's there. Click on print, nothing happening, because these are the buttons which need to be given with additional functionality. We have to write the functionality. We need to define the functionality. So here we are adding the functionality. Functionality means by using JavaScript, on click what should happen, like this we need to configure and define everything. So but as of now This is empty without any functionality. Suppose I am giving button, here also type as button, and here I given some span and class bi, and bi some printer fill, and I used the word as print. Now this is also same, but it can contain icons and all. But this also cannot have any functionality. We have to write the functionality. So depending on the situation, we have to add buttons. If you want activities like submit form, reset form, then without writing the logic, you have ready-made buttons. You don't want those to happen, you want something else, then you design your own empty buttons and write the functionality. You cannot use submit and reset for other works because already they have some work. Then lot of problems will come. If you try to use submit button for some other work or reset button for some other work, they will raise the issues, problems will come. So we have to use for only submit and reset. This is another example. So syntax, how we can use non-generic buttons. These are all buttons, how we can define. So working with the buttons and using the buttons. So these are all related to the concept of forms. So in forms, you have learned so many elements. Let me give you a summary. I hope you remembered complete summary of the forms. What are the elements we learned? We discussed about form, and we discussed about the controls, form elements. What are those form elements? Like we have text box, we have password, we have number, you have range, you have email, you have date, you have time. In date, so many are there options, like we have this, we have color, we have URL. These are all various input types of form elements. And we discussed about others, like what is it, radio buttons, like checkbox, like list box. So like drop down menu, drop down menu, drop down menu, like other options, like how we can use. One more we learned, meter, like progress, like text area, and buttons. These all used in forms. That means form contains lot of elements. So by using those, we can configure. We will see now some examples of how we can use the forms and design. But remember, to achieve real world like appearance, some more efforts we have to do. Extra, you need bootstrap like concepts to achieve real world example. Without bootstrap like things, we cannot achieve exactly how it looks like. Little bit we can manage, because in real time projects they use bootstrap like concepts. For example, now see, suppose we want to design, let's take some real world forms, try to design them, like Amazon. And I want to design this search bar. Amazon have such search bars. I want to design such bar. This is a drop down, this is text box, this is button. Now we cannot design them normally like this. So to design like that, you need some extra classes. We need some bootstrap like extra. Then we can implement. I will show you that today. You can start practicing, because later when you learn bootstrap, you can do more better if you learn these initially here itself. So let's see. Not only this, suppose you have a sign in page. We want to design something like this. So we need to design a sign in page like this. It's easy, we can design that. Suppose you have Netflix. So in the Netflix, we want to design the form like this. So that's also easy, nothing complex. But exact, if you want to achieve, then you have to depend on some bootstrap things. By using the bootstrap, you can design such contents. Let's see some basic examples now. So I will show you here some extra things today, which you have to note. Why? Because in the notes, these are not there. Now I will upload these notes detailedly. That is, so in the notes, we given only general forms. Some examples I am giving now. For those examples, we will have to install Bootstrap. First, install Bootstrap on your PC. This is simple. Same what you have to do, npm install Bootstrap and save. Just like how you installed Bootstrap icons, the same option. Save is optional, but it is good to use because it will save every data into metadata package.json. Advantage is later when you reset, it will not reset. Okay. So here, so I will and run here. So that is npm install Bootstrap and save. Okay. Now once you install Bootstrap, just like Bootstrap icons, Bootstrap CSS is present here. So first step, you install Bootstrap and link to page. And where the location present here is, actually you have to link relation is equal to style sheet href is, it is in node modules, node underscore modules. Same in node modules, you will have Bootstrap. In Bootstrap, you will have dist. In dist, you will have css. In that, you have bootstrap.css. This file you have to link. Just like how you have files in how you have the file bootstrap icon css, similarly this is the path, and you use dot dot or dot dot slash. That depends on where your html file is, right? Not mandatory that you have to use this every time, depending on your html location and your node modules. And one more you have to do is set container. Container means in the body section, use a class called container fluid. This is good. Otherwise, margins will have problem because Bootstrap automatically will add some effects. Due to that, margins will affect. You better use this class container. Okay, these three things you have to do. Let's do. Already installed. After installing, okay, let's keep it like this. Let's keep it like this and link the Bootstrap also. Container what? I will not use that container fluid. Just see what will happen. I will put here link relation is equal to style sheet href is equal to dot dot slash node modules bootstrap dist css bootstrap dot css. That is the file you have to link. Now you can see Bootstrap is working, automatically working. You can see margins adjusted, font style changed little bit, font style, margins adjusted. Now you see here, you are using in the body class as container. Then you can see container will keep like this. But correctly fit to the window, then better use container, which one? Fluid. That class will apply like this. This is better. Now here we will see how we can design a search bar. how we can design a search bar. It's very simple now. So I will put a heading. Let's create Amazon search bar. In the Amazon search bar, let's create one div first. In Amazon search bar, you have seen Amazon search bar, you have seen three options are there. So first one is drop down. So select contains an option, all, another option, some electronics, another option like footwear. Like this you can have some option. So like fashion, like this. Okay, you see that is there. Second, we have an text box. Okay, so after this we will put input type is equal to text. Okay, fine. Next, we have a button. So that means button with search. Let's go. After that we have a button. In that button we have a span class bi search. Bi search, I am giving search, and you can see that button is here. Now for this we need to give a good appearance. Now observe here. Here you need to understand some basic things. Bootstrap classes, for a bootstrap classes, and bootstrap classes for forms only I am telling. Remember, later when you learn bootstrap, so many things will be there. It's very complex. So many things will be there. These are bootstrap related form classes. Here we have to use form control. This is used for text box, password, number. So and this is used for email. So date, it is used for even which controls URLs, right? For all these text area, all these you can use form control. Form control is used for this form control. Okay, next important is, if you are using drop down, we can use form select. Form select is used for drop down. For drop down we have a form select. Okay, and for buttons we have btn, and we have btn, and we have like primary, like secondary. These are colors actually. So that means I will give here, we say color, and these are for buttons. For buttons, colors you can give as button color as primary, success, danger, warning. All these comes under colors. Like we have dark, we have light, so we have info. So many color names are there, contextual colors. These are contextual colors actually. So you see now what I am doing here. So for example, first text box. For text box, which class? For text box, which class we have to use? Form control. Okay, let's go. For text box, I am using the class form control. And you see automatically its appearance changes like this. Its appearance changes like this. It comes to next line automatically. Okay, keep it. Now for drop down, which class we use? We use class called form select. Form select we use. And you see form select looks like this. Okay, leave it like that. For button, which class we use? Class btn, and btn warning I will use. Warning. And you see btn space btn warning, two classes we are applying, and you can see it looks like this. Now very important is all these need to be combined side by side. So to combine side by side, you have another option called input group. Input group, it is used to display all inline. We have to display all inline. That means where you are having all these inside this div. For this we will put a class called input group. Input group, and automatically you can see the appearance comes in this way. But this drop down, we don't want like that. Then we will remove the class and we will keep it normal drop down. Then it will be like this now. Still, this drop down should work like prefix. Then we have an option like input group text. This is used for, it is used for prefix and suffix. If you are attaching anything behind right side, then suffix, or in the front, then we have to use prefix. And for that, what we have to use? Input group text. You see now, for this select, I am using a class input group text. Input group text. Then you can see automatically it changes in this way. Now the search bar is ready. That's what you have there, right? That's what you are having here. The width, height, size depends on your requirements. Colors, anything that depends on your requirements. Now that is the search bar defined here. That means this is an Amazon search bar. You can keep anywhere how much width you want, how much height you want, depending on what you want to keep, because already we learned that. For example, suppose all this, I will remove this search bar and all. I will just keep everything in one container, right? I will add here an ID as box. Okay. Now what we will do, in this box, make sure that everything is in one box only, right? Everything in this one only we are having. Okay. So everything inside one container only. Now why I'm using so many divs, I need to keep this box ID. I'm just writing style and hash box. What it should be, width as some 50%. Width as 50%, and I'm using like this: display as flex, justify content center, align items center, and it will have height also. Height as some 500 pixel. Its appearance will be in this way. Now I will change that 50% width, I will remove, because we are keeping in center. It will be like this. That means we are adding that search bar here. Width, height depends on your requirement, how you are configuring, right? That is the contents requirements. Now here, this is like this is, I will put a placeholder Amazon search, like this. That is the placeholder I am giving. Now let's design Netflix bar. That's also simple. Now let's design Netflix bar. Inside this is one group. I will create another div. Okay. And here I will put input type is equal to email. And here we have a class called form control. And after that, we have a button as get started. That means you can see it contains like this. I want to adjust some height width. You want to adjust some height width. You do one thing. You can apply here some margin, right? Margin, you can adjust top margin, bottoms, you can adjust there. Suppose roughly I am just giving a break. Later you can adjust the margins. Okay, some space I am giving roughly. Now what should happen? This button have an icon. That means this button is having a span class as BI chevron right. Then it looks like this. Get started. Now you see here. So here I will put placeholder. So your email address. I am writing that placeholder, your email address. Now see what we are doing. We are applying a class called input group. Input group will keep these two like this. And we will do one more extra work, that is this class for button. We will use BTN and BTN danger. BTN danger. And you see it will be in this way. It will be in that way. So, and important, this input group have size. Input group, we can use LG for large, it will give bigger. Input group LG will give the large size. That means you can use input group as LG means large. You can also use input group SM means small. By default, it will have one size, large, then you can keep input group LG. It will be in this way. Now, generally what we do here is under this button, not here. After this button, we put some paragraph and you put something like this here. So, paragraph below or above anywhere, right? We will copy that paragraph. We have Netflix. That's how it looks like. Ready to watch membership. And I'm just giving this paragraph above. Okay. Above here, I'm giving it. And let's copy the paragraph and paste that line here. And it will display that here. It will display that here. And what I am just doing is in the style, we are adding the body. So background color, black. Just roughly, I'm using background black. And text color is what? White. And you can see that is the appearance we have. So this is form. And we are designing the Amazon register, Amazon search bar, and this is the Netflix bar. Right? The real world forms requires a lot of bootstrap. Without bootstrap to design like this, it will take so much time. CSS. And real-time development means not testing your talent. It is business. That means nobody will tell you that work hard for 4 days and design. They will say that somewhere some code is there, copy and use it. Because real-time software development is not talent show. That is pure business. That means client will say by this day you have to deliver, you have to deliver. Right? For that he will pay you. That's it. That is the reason you cannot say that I learned CSS, I will take 2 days, give me 2 days time, I will design very good and I will give it to you. He will say don't waste. Don't waste time. So we don't want to see your talent. We just want this to display. How you done it, I don't care. That means that the first good qualification of software engineer is he must be very good in copy paste. That is the first qualification. Copy paste. And don't think that that is easy. Copy paste is not directly. Copy paste and customize according to their requirements. That is where challenge is. Why software developers depend on this copy paste technique, even though they know how to write, because they don't want to waste time. Right? That doesn't mean that they don't have the talent. They don't want to show their talent. There is no necessity to show the talent. Time waste. right? That means you cannot say that I will take time and design. They will say by evening you finish it. So they don't care, right, about your hard work. Nobody cares about your hard work, only result, right? That is the reason freshers have a lot of excitement in the beginning days, right? Freshers now, they have too much excitement in the beginning days. When they go to software companies, they will say, ah sir, I will do this, I will do that, you give me this, you give me that. After the first year you will get best employee of the year, only first year you will get. After that, now what? Nobody gets best employee of the year in the second year, because he knows how they squeeze you. That means they twist you like with banana juice, right? Mixer, right? And they will give you so much hard work. That's the reason. Don't try to show your talent there. Nobody wants that. And if you are doing that, you are in trouble, right? Just do your work. Don't even expose your talent everywhere, right? Why? Because you will have to face lot of issues in software industry. These are general basic things to survive there. Many people have talent, go there, but they can't survive, they come out. We have seen many people have good talent, but they can't survive there because stress, so much they have to take from the client requirements and project managers, team leads. They come out because they unnecessarily take the stress. You should not do that in software industry. You should be very careful in this, right? Don't unnecessarily take stress and try to design everything by your own. Don't do that, right? You have to adapt all such things and make it simple. That means finally he needs output. How you get the output, he don't care. Then why you are worried about that? So you use all the techniques and you implement it. But remember, you have to copy and paste. To copy and paste, we need to learn how to copy, where to copy, what to copy, and after copying, where to customize. To know all this, you should be perfect in all this, right? You should be perfect in all this to know the point about how to copy and paste, where to make change. Suppose I said now change the color of the button, then you should know where to change. That is the reason you are learning all these step by step. But in real time, so you use simple techniques and implement them. Simple techniques and implement. That is the reason these kind of bootstrap, all these are very important. So without bootstrap you can design this, but not necessary at all, right? You need to know how to use this in bootstrap. I given two examples now, right? How we can create these two example. Let me copy. This is the example. And let's see one more basic example here. One more. I will, let's go to Amazon, or you go to, what else we have, Instagram. Suppose we have Instagram. This is the Instagram login page. This is not right. You see, this is the Instagram login page. Now here the point is, I must able to design these kind of options, these kind of forms we need to able to create. Let's do Amazon. See, Amazon, I will open sign in page. Sign in. We have to create this. It's not complex. Now I will show you some more techniques and tips that you have to follow in real design of forms. Remember, this is one more thing you need to know. Here we have to use uh, traditional 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 form elements. Traditional form elements. Actually, in traditional form elements, first you need container. Containers are designed by using divs. Second, you need label. Label is designed by using label. Labels are designed by using label. We design labels by using label. And we need elements. Elements are nothing but, elements means text box, button, check box, button, radio, all these comes under that. Radio, all this comes under that. Now I will show you the correct technique of how real world forms are designed in a standard way. See, so here you see, in this we have one sign in. After that, this is label, this is the text box, and this is the button, right? Now let's create that and see here. I will take a simple example. I will say Amazon sign in, sign in.html, and let's create as per the document head title. So Amazon sign in, and here we will link relation. So style sheet, we need href, node modules, bootstrap, dist, css, bootstrap.css, bootstrap.css. Okay, we don't need any icons. If you want, you have to link relation, style sheet, href is equal to node modules, bootstrap icons, font icons.css. Okay, when you are using bootstrap in the body, you apply a class called container fluid. So next we will put a div, and I will keep this id as box. Okay, and inside this, let's create a proper design here. First, I am keeping a heading. Inside the box, we will create a form. Okay. Now, inside the form, we have a heading. Suppose I have a heading to style. And what is the heading? Sign in, right? I will use that heading sign in. Okay. Next, after that heading, this. If you want to design, if you want to design a category, then every category should be in a div. Every category should be in one div. Okay. In that category, this is label. Labels are designed by using label. Label is used for designing label. And below the label, we put another div. And because we want below, not beside. So if you don't use a div, beside it will come. Below, text box. That means input type is equal to, I will use email. Email. Okay. This is one container. This is one container. Okay. Below that, what we have? Button. That means we will design another container div. In this, we have a button. What is the button text? Continue. Continue is the button text. Okay. Leave it. Now, effects we will give later. First, we will create the design. Okay. Next, this is another paragraph. Okay. I will keep another container div. In that, we have a paragraph. In the paragraph, we pasted all the content and defined there. Okay. Next, what is this? Details and summary. Remember, details and summary. This is not drop down. Details and summary. We learned details and summary. That means another container. Here we have to keep what? Details. What is the summary? Summary should be an anchor. Anchor, what is it? Need help. Like this, we need to define. And href, I will keep as href is equal to hash. Temporarily, I will give. Now, in this, we will put data definitions. Data definitions, these forgot password, other issues. Again, anchor, href is equal to hash. Hash, what is it? Forgot password. And I will copy this. And here I said other issues with sign in. Like this I defined. Right? Now let's see final design. Others you can design outside footer and all, you can design them. Let's keep this now. Let's keep that here and run this and see. Let's run that page and see. I am running this page. It is like this now. So let's keep the appearance here. Okay, let's go. And wherever we have style, we have hash box display as what? Flex. Justify content, center. Align items, center. And we will give here height as some 400 pixel. Then it will give the appearance like this. It is giving the appearance in this way. Now, very important is in this box, suppose we have a form. For form width, I am giving as 300 pixels. Form width 300, it will come like this. Form width 300, so form width like 400 pixels. That means form width is adjusted here. We want shorter, I will give it as 300 pixels. Like this, it will come. Now here, remember, form have options like border as 1 pixel solid gray color border we will apply. And we will have padding is 30 pixel padding we will give. Okay, so we can have border radius we will give as 20 pixel. It will have little radius is very much 10 is enough, that's fine. Now very important, here comes the major things now. So see here for label we have to use a class called form label. And first I will tell you, before that, observe carefully how many categories are there. One is this mobile button and this one, right? So many categories are there. So every category needs some space below. So for this div, we will use a class margin bottom as 2. That means here you can see the margin bottom, it will get some space below. Suppose I am using margin bottom like this, we can give 4 up to 4. Margin bottom 4, some space will come. Similarly, second category, we will apply class margin bottom 4. That means some gap. Again, the next one, this one is a margin class, margin bottom as 4. That means some more space will come. You can adjust the width of the container. So the 350 width of container, it will be like this. You can define according to your requirements here. Now important is here, now label is there. Observe what we are using here. We are using margin MT. This is for 1 to 4. This is margin top. Understood? Suppose we give MB. This is margin bottom. MS. This is left. ME. This is right. Margin start, margin end. Margin start, margin end. This is shortcut. How many values you can give? 1 to 4. If you want more than that, you have to write. And for label, we use form label. Form label is used for label. That means you see now here for label, I am giving a class called form label. Then it will give some space here. So suppose I want this bold, then what you can do is, actually we have an option, font, some bold like options we can apply. So, but that requires some more effects to add. You can do one thing directly. We learned CSS styles and general HTML we will use. Later we will learn bootstrap things, how to apply. Okay. So here you see bold is there. Text box. text box, email, what should be the class? Form control. Form control is the class that will be there. That is email. Then button which class? Button class, BTN and BTN warning. Warning is the class. So BTN warning is the class. It should adjust up to end. Then what you will do is you can simply add W100 width 100. W100 width 100. It will fit like this. That's how we can configure. So that is how we can design the content. This is simple approach. That means for buttons to give such appearance, lot of work we have to do. But now we are simply managing it. Simply managing it. There are so many other effects for forms. You will learn later stage how to use the effects. Means once you learn Bootstrap, you will get lot of things. As of now, I just given only some preview. So which you can also try. You can also try and you can design. Now you see the colors depends. Suppose I say BTN primary, that means the color will be like this. If I say BTN danger, then color will be like this. If I say BTN info, the color will be like this. If I say BTN dark, the color will be like this. So we can add warning like this. It will display in this way. So this is the basic designs how we can create. Now, for example, you see under this container, suppose I have another div. Margins, borders I will give you later. And here again I am adding, this is again margin bottom class, margin bottom as 4. And below this I am giving HR. HR will put a horizontal line. HR will put a horizontal line. And below that again a div. Again I am using a button. And here I am using margin class, margin bottom as 4. This button is having some other content, like suppose what those Amazon people have. Create your Amazon account, like that we want to display. So let's see. Yeah, so create the Amazon. Okay, now let's go to the button. Here what we have to do, create your Amazon account. Then here we can apply the class as BTN. And BTN, suppose I have a light, something like this, and W100. And you can see the appearance of that will be in this way. Yes. Yeah, the appearance will be, where is this? Yeah, fine. The appearance will be in this way. Now we have this create Amazon account. We can apply different colors. So I will give background as dark. And if you don't have colors, you can apply any another. We can put background colors. We can define the background colors and define. You try to design the rest of the concept. That means you try to design this screen with the footer and all. Right? Already I given so much everything. Just you need to create this page by keeping a logo above and below the content and this. So what is the task for you is for tomorrow you have to design this page. The page is Instagram page. You have to design this Instagram sign in page. This you have to design. Can you try? Right, you have to try to design this page. Pictures you can keep left, right. Right side again, two boxes are there. You have to able to create this Instagram screen, right? Left side picture, right side box. Here you have phone numbers, email and password button. These type of links should be there. You try to create this example with the footer, the bottom. If you can create this screen, that's very good, very good. I hope you can try that, right? So then later with Bootstrap, so many forms we can design. So just to this and what you learned today, these three things. This example also I will give. Amazon sign in page. This is the example. Rest of part you design. And if you can do that, that's very good. Now we finish with the forms. One more last topic is there, multimedia. We will learn what is multimedia and how multimedia works in HTML. With that, we will finish HTML. And we will go in CSS more effectively now. Only CSS directly we will learn. That we'll see tomorrow. Right, from tomorrow itself we will start CSS, because multimedia is small topic. We will finish it and we will start working with CSS now. And with CSS you can build more effectively than up to now what you have learned, because up to now you have used a little bit CSS. Now you will professionally learn detail about CSS, right? We'll see in the next session. Tomorrow we'll continue. Okay, right. By tomorrow, try to do the task and submit, right? Instagram page that you have to try. Okay.